Hey guys, this is Darren Van Dam and you're watching Flick Connection, the show that helps you get more out of movies. And it's Monday, which means it's time for the Flicks of the Week, where I'm going to give you my top picks from every major streaming service, mixing it up a little bit this week. Instead of the standard setup, I've added a few streaming services with one movie each, so you'll be sure to get more picks than usual out of this show. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off with Netflix as usual is The Signal, which is a really cool little sci-fi flick that a lot of people have missed. I really dig this one. It was on one of my lists last week, but I want to talk about it briefly. It's got a really unique story. I'm surprised more people haven't talked about this. Lawrence Fishburne's in it. It's basically about this kid who tracks down this hacker that sort of was messing with him and then finds himself trapped in this facility in a hospital gown. He doesn't know why he's there. He's trying to figure out how to get out. He's really hyper intelligent, so it's almost like a game at times. But the thing about this one is I never knew where this movie was coming from. I kept thinking I was figuring it out and I knew what was going on, and I couldn't. And then as it goes on, there's even more action in it. It gets crazier. It feels almost like a 2-hour-long episode of The Black Mirror or like an old Twilight Zone. And it's really, in my opinion, the story's really well written. It's a lower budget movie, but I think they did a fantastic job with what they had. The cinematography in this alone was surprising at times, but I cannot recommend it enough. If you feel like you haven't seen a good sci-fi movie in a while, this is a really good hidden gem. Another hidden gem with a lot of big stars in it, including Michael Fassbender, is Slow West. This is one of the more recent westerns to have come out, and even though it's got all these big stars in it, it is a small movie. It's a beautiful movie. The cinematography is great in this as well, but it's a simple little story, not a whole lot going on in it, but enough to keep you entertained, obviously. But the cinematography in this is great too. It's got a unique kind of style to it. It doesn't feel like an old school western. It feels very much like something new. So if that sounds like you, check it out. It will also be on a list later this week as I cover the top 10 westerns currently available on Netflix, so be sure to look out for that on Wednesday. Children of Men just got added to Amazon Prime. The year this came out, which I was in college, it was one of my favorite movies. I was really impressed with this one from beginning to end. Again, the cinematography in this one, the visuals, this one just went above and beyond what I could have expected from a movie I knew virtually nothing about. I think it's really well done. From what I hear, it's a good representation, as far as movies go, of the book that it's based on. It's an incredible story about the future where women can no longer conceive children, and the youngest child on Earth is like 20 years old or something. And this adventure ensues. Again, incredible visuals to the point that the final action sequence in this, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, lasts about 9 minutes, and it is all one solid take. And stuff is blowing up, bullets are whizzing by. If you've somehow never seen Children of Men, it comes with my highest recommendation of the week. The Ninth Gate, starring Johnny Depp, is also currently on Amazon Prime. It is a cool little mystery thriller with some demonic elements to it. Don't want to spoil anything, don't want to give anything away. I really like this one. It is a slow burn, but it's well directed, it's well crafted, and it's going to hold your interest from beginning to end, even though it is, I believe, over 2 hours. Darkest Hour stars Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill. It was one of the most talked about movies of last year. It just dropped on HBO. If you have missed it and you're in any way a history buff or just interested in history, this one is a must watch. On Hulu this week, I'm recommending Duplex, which is actually a Ben Stiller, Drew Barrymore movie that I seemingly would have no interest in, but it's directed by Danny DeVito. And I love Danny DeVito's directing style. It's a shame he's not directing movies anymore. He's got this sort of dark, twisted take on things, almost kind of like an old school Tim Burton-y kind of a thing, but it is about this couple that moves into a duplex where they're sort of cohabitating with this 90 or 100-year-old woman. It's a steal, a beautiful place, and they think she's going to die soon, and she ends up being one of the worst people to live next to, and it's just a really fun yet dark. This one gets dark, but I believe it's like PG-13, so it's not like, the family can't watch it. But I really like this one, and it really got overlooked because it's a Ben Stiller, Drew Barrymore movie, but this is not a rom-com. If you're a regular viewer and you like this content and you feel like you get value out of it, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter. I've added some new benefits. Supporters will get things from me depending on your level of support. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the cards. There's a link at the end of this video. Go check it out. Read the benefits. If you'd like to support the show, that is one really, really great way to do it. For the first time ever, I'm recommending something on STARZ. The Poseidon Adventure, the original from 1972, just got added to STARZ. I absolutely love this movie. This is an action movie. It's almost a modern action movie shot in 1972. It is about a cruise ship that capsizes at the beginning of the story, and you've got a small band of survivors that then have to sort of work their way from what was the top of the ship, which is now the bottom. They have to work their way all the way up to the hull as the water is rising. Really, really intense sequences. Really, really incredible, epic filmmaking for 1972. It is one of the original disaster movies, and it's one of the best ever made. If you've never seen it and you're in the mood for something old school, I cannot recommend this one enough. On Showtime, I've got one of the most downers of a movie of all time, but I really, really like it. It's Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage. He actually won an Academy Award for his performance here playing an alcoholic. He really does do a fantastic job. Nicolas Cage has become a little bit of a joke in the movie industry, unfortunately. I might be doing a list of some of the worst Nicolas Cage movies coming up. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. But Leaving Las Vegas is possibly his best. It's beautifully shot. It's a heartbreaking story. It's incredibly well acted by Cage. Just really, really pulls you in. So if you're in a particular mood where you might feel like maybe watching a downer of a movie, this is one of the best routes you could go.
What's going on, guys? I'm Danny from the Blu-ray Dan channel, and once again I want to thank Darren so much for having me on here to give you guys my choice for this week's rent or buy movie pick. And coming to us on August 21st on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K Ultra HD, we have Deadpool 2, the direct sequel to the original Deadpool. And honestly, guys, I think if you enjoyed the first one, you're definitely going to dig the second one. It's just as funny and comedic, just as action-packed, just as violent, brutal, and vulgar as the first one. It's over the top just like the first one, if not more so. The movie has some great visuals and special effects, but it also acknowledges, by breaking the fourth wall, its issues such as CGI and characters. I'm not going to go into that anymore, but it's a lot of fun, and I think you guys are definitely going to like it if you haven't seen it. And there are tons of editions coming out, such as Steelbooks and Digibooks and this and that, and there's so much to choose from with this one. And yeah, that is my choice for this week's movie pick, and I hope you guys decide to pick it up. If you guys want to find me anywhere else, you want to follow me, you can check out Blu-ray Dan. Thank you guys so much. Darren, thank you so much.
And then in the theater this week, Happytime Murder seems to be the pick of the week for the theater. I am skeptical about this one. I will be going to see it later this week, and I will be reviewing it on Friday with a spoiler-free review in the morning and then a spoiler review in the afternoon. So be sure to check those videos out as well. But that is it for this video. If you like the new format and all the additional recommendations, let me know in the comments. I'm testing it out. But I will keep making these as long as you keep watching them. But thanks for checking this episode out, and you will see me on the next one.